Hey guys, Brad Pryor here with Grit Branded. Hanging out with Miguel today. Las Tunas. Las Tunas. Okay, I do speak Spanish. I don't know why I don't know how to say that very well. But anyways, we're here to talk about what you do and your involvement in the Western industry and how your ranch is involved in the stuff that we do. We do a lot of marketing together.
Yes, sir, we
We're in
do.
the same events, I guess.
We do, yes, sir.
So tell us about you.
Sure thing. Well, I am born and raised in Chihuahua, Mexico, and that's where I live right now. I'm a businessman from Chihuahua. I did my junior college here in the U.S. at New Mexico Military Institute. After that, I went back to Mexico, and I graduated from there. And then I made a master's degree over in Mexico, and after that, I came back here to the U.S. for an executive program at Harvard, and spent quite a bit here because it took 3 years to get that done. So I'm from Chihuahua. I live there. My ranch is 2 hours away from the city of Chihuahua. We're only 220 miles south of El Paso. We've been very involved in the industry for some years now. And to be honest, I've been involved in the industry since I was a little kid because my father, he loved nature, he loved the ranch, he loved horses, cattle, everything. So I've been involved in it since I was just a young kid. And our core business started into the mining industry. We're suppliers of some products and services to the mining industry along the Mexican Republic, and now we're growing worldwide. It's a worldwide company now. We have presence and offices in Central America, South America, Europe, in Asia as well. So that's our core business, and that's pretty much what we dedicated most of our time to. And when we acquired Las Tunas, this became a very, very important part of our business because we always knew that we wanted to go back at it, and I'll explain a little bit why go back at it. But it was one of my main objectives that once we went back at it, we were going to go in all the way and try to put Mexico in the eyes of the world, particularly Chihuahua, in the eyes of the world. And that's what I've been trying to do in the last, few years. So,
Got you. So how did y'all get into the mining business? Is that something that your family already did, or you?
No. This is a first-generation project. I started it myself. When I graduated from college, my first job was cleaning aisles at a Home Depot. That was my first job because my dad, he passed away when I was young. And then I had to start working in order to support my family, in order to support my sisters, and just get through it, right? And when my father passed, we were in a very difficult economic situation back then. And that kind of pushed me, to find, jobs at a very early stage of my life. And I started working like that. And then I started, growing in that particular job. And then I was hired by another American company to represent their brand over in Mexico. But at the same time, I had, this entrepreneurial mind, and I've always had it, that I needed to create something. So back in 2006, pretty much, the mining industry started booming in Mexico. And I was very intrigued about that because I saw a lot of corporates, U.S. corporates, Canadian corporates, worldwide corporates that were established, were coming to Chihuahua to invest because Mexico is very rich in minerals. So at that point, I was intrigued to know what were the consumables that they were using, because I saw a lot of companies that started to grow, and I wanted to be part of that. So I had no money. I lived in a very little home, and I started, I remember I went to Walmart and buy myself a little desk that was $30, and so I built it myself in next to the little kitchen that we had at our home, and I started dragging the pencil right there, and I started making some numbers on what were the consumables, how much they were using, and there was one particular consumable that got my attention. And it was a steel ball that they were using. And they were purchasing millions and millions of dollars of steel ball, but only to one company. And I was very intrigued about that, my friend. And I said, listen, I need to study this product. So I started analyzing that product, everything around it. And I studied the chemical composition that it was made of. Because everybody would think that, what's intriguing about a steel ball? There's a lot behind it. It has to do with, the performance of the mills and how much they're producing. And so I was very intrigued about it. And I came out with a different chemical composition that, working through some universities, working through some steel makers, I got to a point that I said, maybe this product's going to work better than what the competition is doing. So I literally used all my savings and my friend's savings, to go and make a full truckload of this product, and came out with a mind and said, listen, I have this product. I know that it's very difficult for you to change, from one product, from one supplier to the other, but give me the opportunity to use it. If it works, you pay it. If it doesn't, well, I lose everything, right? And lucky for me, it worked. It took him about a month to call me back, so you can only imagine all those 30 days. Whew. I remember I was really freaking out. And I will never forget that it was on a December 24th when they called me and said, you know what, Miguel, we're very pleased with your product. Send us another truckload and send us the invoice we're going to pay. So you can only imagine that that was the start of something great for me. It was a really life changer for me. And so what did I do? I started traveling all over Mexico. I used to drive over 3,000 miles a week, because the mining industry is in so remote places that no other industry is. So I had to go and knock on those doors and say, listen, my name is Miguel Guerrero, this, and that, and I'm making this product. And at that time, that company that used to sell that product obviously had 100% of market share, because that was the only company that was selling. So now that little project owns 58% of market share in Mexico, and my competition that used to sell 100%, now it's smaller than us. So it was a very cool success story for us. And then we started growing in the industry, and then we started growing outside of Mexico, and then one company led to another, different products. Now we are supplying explosives, dynamite, chemical reagents, lubricants, all sorts of products for the mining industry, all consumables, and that's what we're pretty much focused on. Open offices in Central America, in Nicaragua, in Peru, in Asia, and here in the U.S., and in many places. So it's a first generation project. It's a first generation company, and I'm very pleased to say, a lot of people say, don't mix business and family. In my case, it's very different. I mix business and family. A lot of my family members work in the company, and they've been helping me grow so much. Who's going to take better care of you than family, right?
Right.
And obviously, we have our protocols for them to go in and work with us. But once that they need them, they're more than welcome to join us and help us grow. And so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the story. I started in the mining industry out of nowhere, right?
That's pretty cool and unique story. And that's why I love doing this podcast, is because my story is very similar to some degree. But, it just takes a lot of determination and hard work, and you can do anything you want.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And then just you talking about driving 3,000 miles. I remember doing the same thing when I just went everywhere. And I was just talking to whoever would listen.
Exactly right.
And people are this day and time don't know how to do that.
Exactly right.
And it's very easy if you just got to know what you're going to sell, and you're selling yourself.
And you know what? At the same time, you need to sacrifice many things.
Yes.
I remember back then I saw, all your friends and everyone hanging out, having fun and making trips and golfing and things like that. I had to quit everything.
Yep.
Everything in order to make this happen. And actually, I had to quit it many years before, when I had to work, because, I didn't have a father that was supplying for my family and providing for my family. And So I had to quit many things. So I guess the sacrifice part wasn't hard. And not even the working hard part was hard. It was part of my DNA, to be honest. And I come from a Lebanese family on my mother's side, Mexican side on my father's side, Mexican from my father's side. So we're very hard workers.
I was going to say, that's a very interesting mix there.
It's a very interesting mix, my friend. So the business part, it's pretty much in my blood.
Right.
It's in my genetics. So I love it, and I'm beyond blessed that with time, when my father passed, he had a ranch, right? And before he passed, he was going through a very difficult time, and he sold it. And that was devastating for me, because that was like taking something that I really loved. So I promised to myself that one day I was going to go back, and I was going to go back all in. And I had to work hard, because, as you know, horses are like a black hole where all the profits from the other companies go to. But still, I like all my businesses, but I love Las Tunas. For me, Las Tunas is a passion. It's a very personal and intimate thing that I have a personal, obligation to continue on growing. And for many years, over 100 years, we've been making business exactly the same between the U.S. and Mexico. And we've been doing things, in great ways, and many efforts of bringing the best genetics, the best talents to the industry. But at the same time, we were out there. We were, no one knew us. No one knew who we were. And so I'm very glad that a piece of Chihuahua is representing my people through Las Tunas right here.
Right.
So I'm very blessed. I'm beyond blessed, for sure.
Yeah. It's crazy. Before we dive off into the horse business with you, a lot of people that you're talking about, where when you're out there grinding and doing your thing, working 7 days a week, they're buying the boats, the jet skis, hanging out, going on vacation, and everything. I didn't get to do that, and honestly, when I could afford it, it really didn't mean a whole lot to me.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? The horse stuff, the horse and the bull stuff that I have personally is kind of the same thing. I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that means more to me than a physical item.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I can see it. I can see it grow. I can see it, be successful. And you're a part of that. I think that's more rewarding than putting gas in a jet ski.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So, a lot of people don't see that way, but it's...
Oh, absolutely. And believe me, we share that same way of thinking. I think exactly the same way. Some people see value in some stuff that you don't.
Yep.
And it's okay.
Yeah. I remember when I was growing up, my mom, I didn't have a dad growing up. Yeah. So my mom was raising us, and I've apologized to her many times for being a little shithead, I guess. Yeah. All the kids are wearing fancy jeans and all this stuff, and but looking back, I got fresh food. She cooked. She worked three jobs.
Yeah.
We were loved. And
exactly.
I had more than what those people had.
That's exactly my case. Yep. That's exactly my case. So I feel very identified with your story, because it's pretty similar. Right. It's pretty similar. And you know what? I don't regret a bit.
No.
Not a bit.
No.
Maybe God thought that I needed, a shake for me to do things differently and do things, in a big way. I wanted to be a lawyer, by the way. My dad was a lawyer in profession, and my dad didn't let me. When I wanted to grow, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a lawyer. My dad said, no, you're not going to be a lawyer, because you have an entrepreneurial mind. You need to be a businessman, and you need to be, make something big out of our family name, out of our family name. And to be honest, I took that very personally. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Yeah. And I still want to study law.
Really?
Oh, of course. I still want to study law. I like it. I've been listening to that all my life, and one of my sisters is a lawyer, and so yeah. I still have that, intriguing thing rather that I want to be.
So Las Tunas is more or less representing your family.
Oh yeah.
From where it came from in Chihuahua and all that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's interesting, because when people ask me, how did you come up with Rafter Peak Construction?
Yeah.
I tell them like, well, the guy that gave me their last name, his last name was Pryor.
I saw your interview.
Yeah, I didn't know if you saw that or not.
And that's, to be honest, that's very honorable, my friend. When you said that, I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
he did some good in your life, and this is a good way to pay tribute.
Yeah, and I had no idea that it would get to where it's at, but it's hard work and hustle. Being honest,
hustle. That's the name. Yeah, every day is a fight.
So tell us about your horse business.
Well, at Las Tunas, we are in the business of creating athletes, right? We have the best bloodlines in our ranch. Those great bloodlines that are used here in the U.S., by the best ranches and the best producers in the industry, we have them right there. And we are in the business of creating athletes because we breed them, we grow them, and then by the time that they're about 2 years old, we take them out to the ranch to work through a 6 to a 12-month program with the cattle, working cattle, Corriente cattle and Angus cattle, which the Corriente cattle is very tough, particularly in that area. This is a very rocky terrain. It's very difficult. And so once those horses come to the arena, it's an easy thing for them. It's just different. It just feels the right spot, and all their senses are awake because we've been using them out in the ranch. They don't get scared easy. They don't get scared of water. They can go through hell in order to chase a steer. So all those things really wake up their senses. So when we bring that into the arena, that's very special. And then we have best trainers in Mexico right now working at Las Tunas. We have a team of 12 people that are working constantly with horses. Every one of them has 12 horses on their charge, and they're working with them day and night. And so that makes it very special because we can bring the horses here, to those professionals that are going to just, make those little adjustments on the horses to be able to shine and work great and, take them to other levels. And but we make all the tough work in-house. So, like I said, for me, it's pretty special because we are bringing, the name of Mexico, the name of Chihuahua, to a very competitive industry. And at the same time, we are being very well accepted because we have the right stuff, we have the right product, the right quality, the right horses, the right bloodlines, the right mixes of bloodlines that people are looking for, many different disciplines. And plus, we are in the Corriente cattle business, right? So that is very special because, as you know, Corriente cattle, the M brands nowadays, we need them and we need them bad. Now, in all the events that we've been seeing lately, I mean, nothing against those natives. They work all right for a little while, but then they give up. They're not as tough as the M brands, and that's plain truth.
Right.
Plain truth. But we're waiting for the border to be open. And I hope that things get better in the right track. And I've been following up on that very, very strictly and very direct, through a lot of representatives, because what I'm aiming for is, obviously, this thing has created a lot of inflation. And this is not a secret. We've been seeing this and that here because of how high the prices of beef are. But to be honest, the beef industry from Mexico only represents about 4 or 5% of the total consumption. But that 4 or 5% gives a lot of jobs in those feedlots here in South Texas, in Oklahoma, in California, in Arizona. So we need those jobs. I mean, in the U.S. as well. We need to get things going. And at the very end, what I'm aiming for is open for sports purposes. We need those Corriente cattle right here. We need those horses right here. And that's not going to affect the prices of beef. But what it's going to do is that it's going to help us put into a test the protocol, very strict protocol that we have in order to be able to cross. And if everything works out all right, then we can just go forward with the rest. That's pretty much what we've been aiming for. But at the same time, we cannot be selfish. A lot of people are hurting in Mexico because we've been depending on the same model, economic model, for more than 100 years. So you can only imagine that having their cattle over there is hurting them because they don't have access to better health, to better education, recreation, many things that are vital for any human being that needs them in order to have better quality of life, right?
Right.
And I'm saying this because the states of Chihuahua and Sonora are shielded. So this screwworm thing happened South Mexico, but it has not happened in the state of Chihuahua and Sonora. They have as high sanitary status as any state in the U.S. So we're shielded right there. The local governments, the state governments are totally working with us. I'm a member of the board of the Cattlemen's Association for the state of Chihuahua. And we're working constantly on this. So we know that we can open this trade right away, and we're ready for it. And we have over 1.2 million head of cattle sitting there just to be crossed, waiting to be crossed. So you can only imagine.
And we need it, though, because you're going to some of these big ropings or futurity ropings, and you might have, if you went to a jackpot the night before, you may see the same cows. They're within the logistical.
They are the same ones.
You know what I mean? And it's sad when you recognize one.
Well, we just went to a roping a couple of weeks ago, and I don't want to say any names, but
Sure.
We just went to a roping about 2 weeks ago, and they had the same cattle that I saw about 10 months ago, and I know that because I sold it, and I saw the cattle. And I was very surprised because there were big cattle now, and to put into futurities and to attest those young horses with those big steers, it's not too fair for the horse,
No.
for them to shine.
No.
So, but at the same time, it's not fair to all of us that are so involved in the industry and that we want to progress and we want to do things right and do better every day. And that's a big part of our industry in order to, to do continuous business. And we need it, and we need it bad.
Is there something on the cattle side that you look for when you're breeding these? Or is it just straight up?
No. Well, the Corriente cattle, that's a very important subject because people will think that the Corriente cattle is all over Mexico, and it's not. It's only from the state of Chihuahua.
Oh, really?
It's only from the state of Chihuahua. The Corriente cattle is bred up high in the mountains. We have a canyon right there that is the Copper Canyon, and all the surroundings are where the Corriente cattle, is bred. Copper Canyon is 3 times larger than the Grand Canyon, just for you to get a little bit of idea how big that is. So all that cattle is produced, by those small farmers that have, 3, 4, 5 cows, and then you go buy those 3 or 4 steers, and then you go buy 10 from the other, and then 20 from the other. So there's no big producer of cattle. We have to go buy, little by little through all these guys. And they don't even know what they have because the cattle are bred and then they bring them down from the mountains once a year. So whatever made it, that's what we have. So that's why it's so tough.
I didn't know
that. That's the story of the Corriente cattle.
Wow.
And it's only bred and produced in the state of Chihuahua, the real Corriente cattle.
Right.
So that's why I say that we're shielded in our state. No cattle from other states cannot even cross through our state.
Because of the canyon.
No, because of the shield that we created for the screwworm.
I got you. Okay.
So that's why I said, listen, we need the Corriente cattle and we need it bad. It's only produced in Chihuahua. It's shielded, has a high sanitary status, the highest. We need to get them to the producers right away because they need it bad for the rodeos, for the ropings, for everything right now.
Right.
God knows what's going to happen if that doesn't open soon.
Yeah, I totally see it and get it. So it's most everything then is live covered in the mountains, and then whatever's created is created. There's not any breeding. You're not shipping semen, nothing like that.
No, that's what makes it tough.
That's crazy. I had no idea.
So to get your hands into 100 head of cattle, it's an ordeal because you need to go by little by little, from all those small producers until you get a full truckload and you ship. And then you ship it to the ranch. You precondition that cattle, you take it to a good level, you sort them all to the same size, same horn. And those changes of climes, it's very tough on that cattle, so a lot of them die. So the ones that get here are the real deal, toughest of the toughest.
So would your ideas be that when you do ship cattle up there, they stay in the States or they come back?
They stay in the States.
Okay.
They stay.
Too much work to get them back, or
Oh no, and there's no reason for them to go back. You know nowadays, especially right now, even the feedlots are eager for cattle, so they'll just take them in, and they grow pretty well. I mean, they're hungry little.
it'll eat.
Yeah, they'll eat for sure. They're gonna gain some weight for sure.
What disciplines do you have horses in?
We have some horses on rein cow horse disciplines, on cutters, but mostly ropings. We produce roping horses, and that's what my guys are working on, and mostly roping horses.
I got you. So when you said there's 12 guys or 12 people, and they have 12 horses that they're responsible for a piece, right?
Yeah,
and that's from feeding to training or everything.
Everything.
So they know that horse top to bottom.
Oh, of course, yes, since the beginning. Plus, we have another set of people, for the weanlings. We have another set of people for the yearlings, and we have a whole different structure for the cattle business. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing about Las Tunas. There's a lot going on. I'm very excited and very glad and very thankful, right, for you to invite me here and talk about this, because, like we've said, we see each other in many different events, and we're doing things right and things together, and very important for me for people to know who is Las Tunas, what do they do, who's the owner, and how did he start, because that's pretty much, we're giving the whole story of myself and the way that I started this project, right? And now it's becoming, a very important family project that we're super focused on. I'm so focused on this that I even had to hire a new CEO for my mining industry business, so I can focus a lot on this one. Yeah. So that important it is.
That's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that too.
Well, you know what? That's an advice that they gave me when I was over in Harvard, and I think that's one of the most important things that I got out of that program. Yeah, if you want to focus in different businesses, or if you want to continue on growing in your business, there's a point, in many cases, not all cases, but there's a point that you need to bring in people that know more than you. Mm-hmm. And that's what I needed. I needed to bring someone that knew more than me. So right now, the CEO for our mining group, it's Hector, he's my brother-in-law. So again, it stays in the family. And he used to be the CEO for the largest Caterpillar dealership in Mexico. And I spoke to him and I said, listen, you need to come here. We need to grow together. We need to focus on different businesses. We need to do strategic projects, and come, stay with us. And now he's a shareholder, and he's a partner in the business. So I'm very excited. So one thing is bringing in family, but also making them members and part of your business.
Yeah. So it'll help everybody thrives off of that.
So if I can give you that advice, my friend, in order for you to be able to maybe even grow more than you think, it's bring someone that knows more than you. There are plenty. We're not the owners of the whole truth, you know, and we're not supposed to know everything.
Right.
There's people that know a lot more than us, and that's why I brought him.
I got you. So what is your favorite discipline? Is you like the reining cow horse or the
reining cow horse is fantastic. Cool. It's cool. It's exciting. It's a real entertaining thing to see, to live, and to experience. Yeah. Not only for the viewers, but as owners of the horses, as riders, it's incredible. It gets us all together.
Yeah, the ropings can be a little tough to watch because they're just ropings, And I like the rope industry myself too. So.
No, well, that's what I do. I rope, and I love roping, but seeing all those other events is pretty exciting. No?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's a very cool thing, everything that's going on around the industry right now, because our industry, my friend, is growing by the second.
Oh yeah, big time.
By the second, like ever before. And I see a lot of people that now, and I say it a lot in interviews and in comments that I say, but it's the plain truth. Back in the past, we didn't care about bloodlines. As long as the horse roped okay, you were fine, no? As long as you felt comfortable, that was enough. Not anymore. Now you want to know what's on that horse and, what you can take out of it and how much you're going to grow. You see all these futurities that are going on, all these events, great payouts. And that's exciting. Because that has brought us also a lot of, opportunities to partner with great friends, Like I partner in many of the great studs that are out there, Time to Glow, Third Edge, until that was recently, sold in the TR9 sale. We're part of that one, of that purchase as well. The Dark Side, many other studs that we're part of. And I found in this industry, in the U.S., great, incredible people, great partners. There's Reggie Prost, Rand Richard, Trevor Brazil, Miles Baker, Caleb Turlip, Melanie Smith, Ty Smith, great people. And I don't want to leave anyone out, but all those people that have opened up to us and that are giving us the opportunity of partner with them and do great projects together. There's actually a big announcement coming soon that I cannot speak too much about a merger of, one of our units with another company here in the U.S. That is going to be a game changer for the industry, and we're very excited about that. And we'll get to talk about that in the near future. But things like that, I don't want to eat the whole cake.
Right.
How do
There's plenty there for everybody to have.
Yeah. How do we do things together, Brad? I mean, what are you doing that I can add value, and what am I doing that you can add value, and let's grow together.
Most valuable people can add to something.
So it's very, and exactly right. But all the people that I found that they've opened up their arms to us is very kind people, great people. Like in the AQHA, Carl Stresman has done such a great job in the AQHA. He's a dear, dear friend of mine. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very sad that he already announced his retirement in May. But all the things that he's done and how he's taking care of the international part of the business, for us, is very special. Particularly for someone like me that is trying, to make a name in this very competitive industry, and that they're helping me out. That's very special, and for that, my friend, I'm forever going to be grateful and thankful.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Do you all have anything in the States as far as outside of partnerships?
We do.
You?
We do. We purchased here a piece of property in Whitesboro. That was one of the Melanie Smith's facilities, Solo Select. We purchased that one here. And so she's going to stay there for the next 2 years, and then we're going to come in at it. But things like that, we are definitely investing, and we're trying to get our hands on this side of the border, because we have been very well accepted, and like I said, we're beyond blessed.
Right. You rope often?
I try to, not as often as I would like to, my friend.
Me either.
Aren't we on the same difficulty? Yeah, we try to rope as much as possible, but we just simply can't. We're so busy that, I have to be honest. In the last months, I've spent 4 or 5 days in my home because I've been traveling all over the place, and I'm super busy right now with our projects. And it is what it is, but it'll get to a time that I'm going to be able to rope.
Yeah. Well, people don't realize that when you're growing something too, or building something new to a competitive industry, it takes your time. It's hard to hire somebody to do that for you.
Oh, definitely. There's nothing harder, my friend, in this world than human relations, and there's nothing harder than creating the right team. People that will follow you and that have your rhythm. And I don't expect anybody to follow my same pace, because I'm going to be very frustrated if that's what I'm looking for. But I try to be a leader, and I try to, to lead by example, and to let people know that things don't come easy.
Right.
A lot of people want to be part of Las Tunas, but when they're part of Las Tunas and they get to the hard work, they say, "Oh, I thought it was all events and having fun." No, it's not, my friend. To get to this point, it's very hard. It's very, very hard, and we need to work together as a team to get, to the point that we need to, or that we want to get to. It's not easy. It's not an easy task. By all means, it's not. But it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
To be part of this industry is very fulfilling.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to be the next project for us? How are we going to pass on that passion to our next generations?
Yeah. That's a milestone in itself. to get, because I mean, you can talk about, people that have met me, I've been in business 23 years, people that have met me later on in my career, they don't understand what I did on the front end.
Right on.
And they, this won't be a part of it, but they don't want to I still expect everybody to outwork me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's old school.
Yeah.
And I have to sometimes just bite my tongue off to keep from saying what I want to say, but but it's the truth. Like,
and it's even retaining people nowadays is very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very difficult because the new generations now, they want everything and they want it fast.
Yep.
They're not willing,
even if they don't deserve it.
Even if they don't deserve it, but I mean, and I don't have anything against the new generations. Don't take me wrong. It's just that maybe we're built, to last a little longer. If I needed to get a job, I knew that I was going to go through hell, but I was not going to quit.
No,
it was not that easy because I had no other option. I had to work. So nowadays, if they don't like a job, they just leave. Next day, they just don't show up. And they start working through the cell phone and through, all this technology that is right, in the palm of our hands. And they can do great businesses through technology too. And I don't have anything against that, but it's not easy. And sometimes life is not fair, and sometimes it's hard, and sometimes you need to resist and be resilient and be able to support, all the obstacles in life. Don't quit.
Right.
Don't quit. One thing that I look in the resume is how long people stay in one single job. For me, that's a very important thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And there's a lot of them that jump around a lot. I don't lose. Most of my people, once they're with me. I hardly ever lose anybody. Every once in a while, a few, but for the most part, everybody's here for the long term. And even people that manage people for me, like I don't want them working here unless they want a career.
Right on.
No job.
Right.
Career.
Unless they want to.
We all pull the rope the same way. I'm not going to hire somebody to come here and get a check.
I couldn't be more in agreement with you. It's totally the way that happens to us too. But at the same time, and it's something that we need to figure out, because sometimes that people that started with you in the company, when the company starts growing, the company grows faster than them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hard part, because even though they want to stay with you, they're just not fit for that company anymore. Yeah. And that's a very, very difficult decision. And those are things that we need to face as businessmen, and sometimes are hard decisions. What have I found that is very valuable is, how do I train better my people? Mm-hmm. How do I give them tools? How do I give them scholarships to keep on studying, to grow, all the tools that they need to grow. And if after that they still don't want to grow, or they don't grow, then there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do, because this is moving at a very fast pace, and I cannot stop. And nobody's going to stop. And nobody's going to come and do the job for us. We need to do it ourselves.
Yep.
So those are kind of like hard decisions.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I had to make my mother retire.
Yeah.
So I've been down that road. We're doing everything with a big chief tablet and a pencil.
Yeah.
When we started going into QuickBooks and all the things,
of course, yeah,
it was just too much for her. Yeah. So I was like, "Sorry, Mom. Here's retirement package." And thank you for everything.
Yeah. And there are some things that I still do the old way. I mean, I'm still with my notebook and my pencil. Right. And that's my agenda. That's where I keep my things. And I like it. I feel safe right there. Doesn't mean that I don't understand the rest. It's just the way I feel right.
Yeah, I agree with that. So what is any new adventures you got coming up?
We just, a new brand of tequila is coming out. Made from Las Tunas partnership that we have in Mexico, and we bought this tequila house, and we brought some nice strategic partners, and there's this new tequila coming out called 500 Steers, which in Spanish is called 500 Novillos, 500 Novillos. Novillos is how we call the steer, right, in Mexico. And there's a story behind it. Back in the day, 1800s, there was this cattle drive that was made from Chihuahua all the way to Kansas. And it was made by, some families from Chihuahua, and they were taking 500 Corrientes steers from Chihuahua all the way to Kansas. Oh, wow. And that was called the 500 Novillos drive, right? It was so special and so famous that we even have a very special song that everybody knows in Mexico. It's like an anthem in Mexico now. So we were thinking, like, how can we pay tribute to that? So we came out with this name. It's called 500 Steers. And the tequila is coming out, and it's a tequila that is going to be mainly focused on the Western industry. Because if we go to the events that we go to, the Western events, you see a lot of whiskeys, you see, vodkas, but when do you see a tequila? And we all go to a bar and order a tequila.
Yeah.
So now we're going to come up with this tequila that is going to be an ultra smooth tequila, the first ultra smooth tequila, which is a reintegration of waters and CO2 into the tequila, into the product itself. It's got to be the first ultra smooth, which is delicious. And it's going to be for everybody. And it's going to be very enjoyable, and it's going to be from the Western industry for the Western industry. So it's going to be fantastic. That's a new venture that we're coming up with, and we're going to be selling it in Mexico by the beginning of next year, and by mid next year here in the U.S.
Gotcha. What is it called again?
500 Steers. So everybody's going to know it by 500.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you.
So it's going to be cool. We're going to start seeing it soon, and plus a merger that we're working on with some of our businesses that is in the Western industry. One of our revenue streams, we're going to merger with another company here in the U.S. that it's very large and is doing great things, and we're going to hear about it soon.
I got you.
Yeah.
You have any fears in life?
Well, I guess so. I guess that we all do, no? I mean, and at the very end, one of my fears in life is not being able to pass, to the next generations what I'm building right now. That's definitely a fear that I have, because we're working so hard on this, and I want to pass on that passion, and hopefully I'll get it done. I just hope that God takes me on the right time and the right way,
Yeah. The only fear I had, the fear I had was from making sure I got my kids where they can take care of themselves.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
And after that, everything's bonus to me.
Yeah, totally. And I lost my father suddenly, and he died out of a heart attack. So that definitely started automatically. It creates fear on you. You don't want to, I take care of myself, and I try to, to take this analysis and this test yearly, so I know that I'm okay. And I think that I went through hell when my father passed, and I guess that my biggest fear is that my kids go through the same.
Yeah,
and I don't want them to go through the same.
Yeah, the same. And they may be a little more spoiled than I want them to be, but
even though that make me tougher.
Yeah.
Still, I don't want them to go through that.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm that kind of guy that I don't want my kids to start the way I started. My roof is their floor. They need to start from there up.
Right.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Well, people always aren't you afraid of in business, failing? I'm like, no. I mean, I've been doing this for 23 years.
And I failed in so many ways.
Right.
And we're made, to fall and get up
right.
once and 100 times. It's part of the show. I've closed a lot of businesses that have not been successful. I'm talking to you about the cool things.
Right.
But obviously, there's been a lot of business that they just don't succeed.
Right.
And you need to close them or pass them on or do something different. Or it's part of life at the very end. And we failed a lot, and we as businessmen, we have made so many mistakes.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And we're going to keep on making mistakes and losing money and all that, and get used to it. That's part of being a businessman.
Right. That's how you learn, dude. That's how I learn.
Of course.
When I lose money and stuff, that's how I learn.
I remember once I was very, very sad because, I lost some money in the business, and I had a mentor in Mexico that I owe him a lot of everything that I learned in business. And Don Luis was his name, and I remember once that he saw me that I was a little down on it, and he just turned around. He knew it, and he turned around. He said, "Get used to it. If you don't fail, many, many times, that means that you're static, and that's wrong.
Right.
That's very wrong. So get used to it."
You think that goes into a lot of your coaching with your employees now?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally, and they're going to fail, and it's okay if you fail, if you make mistakes. I mean, it's not right if you keep on making the same mistake once and again, right? But you can make mistakes. It's part of life.
Right. And you can tell most of the time I can tell by just walking in a room with who's who's got something going on.
Oh, believe I don't even want to walk in the room anymore. And they asked me not to walk in the rooms. They asked, please, if you're around, please don't come here unless you need something. Because you makes us, and I catch a lot of things real easy just by looking at them. I know something's going on.
That's what my GM says. He's like, he sees stuff a year before you'll see it. He's way ahead of you no matter what, even if he's playing dumb.
Because you've been there. Because you started it. Because
built a roadmap.
You build a roadmap. That's what happens to me. So when they start doing this kind of things, commercial, external commerce or international commerce is very difficult. And I learned to manage it very well through the years. So I know that a lot of things happen. And when something's wrong and they want to tell me a different story, I said, you cannot play a player. We know how it is. We started this, and that's not the way it has to be done. It has to be done this way. So I try to guide them as much as possible, but at the same time, sometimes we're the largest obstacle in the company. If we don't allow our people to succeed, to fail, to do this, then we're micromanaging, and that's wrong. In many, many ways. And I've been doing that for many years until I learned this. And I said, no, I need to delegate. And I need someone here that knows more than me. And believe me, that's when the company started growing more. So it's fine.
I'm saying I don't micromanage. There's certain things I won't put my hand on, but I've learned to start letting things go.
No, I used to do it so much. I don't do it anymore, but I used to do it so much.
But they do the same thing to me. Like, I don't want me in a big office. I go in there, or don't want me looking at everything, because it just creates a mess. If I don't know enough about it, I just know it's not right.
Exactly right.
And they're already starting to work to fix it. It's just they're going the long way around. I want to go.
And like I said, you're not supposed to know anything. You just have that feeling that when something's not right. So it is. It is what it is, my friend.
So what do you want the general public or the Western industry to know about you?
Oh, well, I guess that we said it all. I mean, I come from from a very humble roots, and I try my very best to work very hard to put a name for my family and a name for Chihuahua and Las Tunas in the industry. And I guess that the most important message that I want to say here is how grateful I am for everybody that has opened their arms to us, that has helped us a lot. And I've learned from so many people, so many things, that I just hope that all those guys and a lot of people can also learn something from me, and that I can add some value to this great industry that I truly, truly love, and that I intend to participate for many, many years, and try to get the next generations involved as well. So we're hardworking people, and we are very blessed to be here and do what we love. Great horses. Life is too short to ride bad horses, right? And we try to do the best thing possible when it comes to breeding, and genetics for us is very important. And thank you to all. I guess that's my message. And if I would like all people to know something about me, is how grateful I am to everybody that has helped me in the way.
That's good stuff. And then honestly, when I started doing this podcast was because the company has grown. A lot of people don't get to talk to me no more. Or don't talk to me. So I want my customers and the people knowing or buying my product who I am. So this gives them on a personal level when I'm talking to individuals like you.
And it's very needed. Thank you. And I've been following some of your podcasts. I watched some of them, and I heard some of them actually on the way here. I was listening to one of them, and it's very important what you're doing, because it gives us the opportunity for people to also know who we are and why we're here and how they can reach us, and that we're always open. My doors are always open for anybody that wants to hear an advice or guidance or make business or just make friendship. My doors are always open.
If you're 18 years old again, or you're talking to an 18-year-old, what advice would you give them?
No regrets. Just go all in.
All in.
Do everything that you want to do, but do it with love. If you put your heart into it, things are going to work out all right. Just don't be afraid to mess up.
Yep.
You're allowed to mess up. You're supposed to mess up.
Yep.
But you learn from your mistakes. And it's fine.
That's good stuff. My GM, he's been running the company now for 2 years without me in it. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of pep talks and like, listen, you're healthy. You're breathing.
Right.
You have the guy that built it. A phone
Right.
call away.
Right.
I said, you're okay. But you're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
You know, because I can't do it for you no more.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? Because
Exactly
I have
right.
to be the father.
That's your responsibility.
Yes.
Now. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard seeing somebody you know is passionate and giving it 1,000,000% sit there and go through all that.
Yeah.
But there wasn't nobody there waiting for me, you know, to help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was people along the way that helped me, but like not if I failed, I was falling.
Yeah, no. And as the car moves, everything starts putting in order. So no fear.
Yeah.
Things will do good.
Well, if you had to define your grit with one word, what would it be?
Resilience.
Resilience? It's a good one. It's a real good one. You're nailing it. Yeah, you need to have your own podcast.
It's just resilience. Be tough.
That's awesome. I like that.
Thank you, my friend.
Yes, sir. Miguel, it was very good to meet you.
Thank you.
Finally,
Likewise.
we have enough time to sit down and get to know each other. I've seen you smile. You're always smiling. I know that.
Well, I have so much things to be happy for.
100%. It's nice to be around people like that.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Not saying I'm always smiley. I have my days, but
No, same here. Believe me, same here. If you ask my people if I smile all the time, they're going to tell you no. Actually, that's what they were telling me all the way. That they're happy because when they see me doing this, they see me happy. And
yeah.
when I'm doing the other business, I'm not that happy. Yeah. When I'm here, I'm happy.
If I had to guess, you take everything personal.
Oh, yeah.
Business-wise.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's typically what makes me in a bad mood.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
because something's not going the way it should or I want it to be.
What really pisses me off is when people don't strive.
Right.
I mean, when there's a problem and you don't do your best to solve it, and it's easy just to bring us a problem without a solution, that's what really pisses me off.
My favorite line right there, by the way.
Yeah. But other than that, no, I just don't get that pissed very easily.
Yeah.
Not anymore. But that really makes me mad. You know,
Yeah.
people just give up pretty easy. It's not.
Oh, I wish I could sit in a seat 15 years ago when I was very hot-headed and very hard-headed.
Yeah.
Went through a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I finally calmed down to some degree.
Yeah.
You know, and I have great people that do a lot of stuff for me. If I didn't have that, I'd probably pull my hair out. But
Same here. And I've learned from so many people, so many things.
still do. I learn every day.
Me too.
Something.
We need to have mentors.
Yeah.
We need to have people to look up to and learn.
100%.
But anyways, thank you, my friend. Thank you for this interview. For me, it was very special to be here.
Well, thank you. It was an
To
honor
meet you.
for us, too.
And to meet you.
And if you need anything down the road, just holler.
Same here, my friend. Same here, always.
Yes, sir. All right. Stay tuned for the next Grit episode. Thank you.